Last week I was working on a Kenwood 4140 vintage stereo that the radio wasn't working, and we come to the conclusion that the IF amplifier IC has failed because I had signal going in, but I had virtually nothing coming out. This time I'm going to prove that it is the IC. We're going to do a bypass on it and show that the radio actually will receive. Not properly, but at least it will receive something. Let's check it out. Spending more time on this Kenwood. I think the IF amp IC is gone, but I was staring at the schematic, and there's a capacitor in here that might be causing a problem, and it's this one right here. So look at the schematic. There's one little cap down here that may cause that problem. It's a 33 microfarad, 6.3 volt. If we look at its location on here, it's right in where this IC is, and that could certainly affect the gain on it. Now you see, I can get a little bit of signal through it. If I put an external antenna on it and I crank this thing up all the way, I have a very, very low signal. That's as loud as it goes. If I take the antenna off it completely, this is from my test transmitter on the other side, there's nothing, right? So if I connect up an antenna, I get very, very faint sound. So I'm going to try that cap and just see whether it's going to make a difference. It's this one right there. I've changed that cap. Actually, I changed two of them in here. Two little 33 microfarad. Let's see if we get any better performance now on FM. A little bit better, a little bit louder. Still really weak. Are we going to get any other stations come through? Still not much. A little bit louder than it was initially. I'm just going to try bridging capacitor across that IC that I think is hooped. I'm pretty sure it's this IC. And if I put this cap across where the IC is, I think it's this one, it should bring the reception up substantially. It won't be perfect, but let's just see whether I get anything now. Oh, look at that.
Down clock to the federal police.
Any questions? It's not right, obviously, but heck of a lot better than it was. How's the AM reception? Probably won't make much difference on AM, I don't think. But FM wise, so all I've done on this now, this is kind of to prove that the fault is the IC itself. But what I've done here is I just put a cap between pin 3 and pin 7 to bypass and allow the RF from the IF transformer that would normally pass through this IC through to this side. Kind of proving that the IC itself is what the fault is. Now, to give you an idea of how dramatic it is, this is without it connected, and when I just touch it, so that gives you an idea. So to confirm that what the problem on this Kenwood is, the IF amp is bad. So what I did is I put a 0.1 microfarad cap between pin 3 and pin 7. Now this will only work for the FM side because the AM side goes out. It's going through the same amplifier, but it's the 455 kilohertz IF that's going in to the other input on here, going into this stage here. So it won't do anything for AM, but for FM it's providing, because we're missing our amplification stage. We're just coupling one output, or coupling the output of one IF transformer into the input of the next. So the signal's not going to be great, but at least it lets us verify that it can receive, and it can tune. With just a little short antenna, I can tune in most of the local stations.
Expecting change. The thing that
now, obviously, it's not going to be as sensitive as it should be. That's just what I'm using for an antenna.
Daryl here from Save-On Foods to tell you about our lowest.
I might add, though, that the signal's not strong enough for stereo reception. So it's not a fix. Definitely not a fix, but at least it proves that everything else is working. So this is I'll show you guys where I've mounted it in here. So here it is. I just put this little, say 0.1. I just tacked it across the IF. And that's the only part that's been added on this. Other than that, I put a light bulb in that was shot in the front panel. But that kind of proves that our fault is this IF amp IC. So if the guy wants to replace the op amp, or the IF amp I should say, that should restore this one. I was looking at some of the caps in the area itself, and even when I tried replacing a few of them, it really didn't make much of a difference. I was thinking maybe one of these caps, like this one down here. Where are we here? This little one here may have affected the gain, but this one's actually in the AM circuit, so that won't affect FM. But you see, it is connected across. So I was thinking perhaps if the voltage was a little bit off, that it might affect the gain of the amplifier. But the amp is dead. That's the problem. The amp is dead. Anyway, that's it for this short update. Thanks for watching.